Hi, thanks for joining me on the Listen Up Grow podcast. I am Zach Randles-Friedman. Today is Monday, July 20th, 2026. It's a fresh week with fresh news, and we have got 6 stories that are brand new for you today. We've got a trans actor shutting down every single hater, a Republican governor who keeps standing in the way of bathroom bans, a terrifying night outside of a North Carolina gay bar, a lesbian congresswoman who said out loud what a lot of us have been thinking about Pete Hegseth, a shooting in Pakistan that took one trans life, and a teacher who took on his school district and won. So let's get into it, starting with Elliot Page is sublime in the Odyssey, and the haters can eat it. We are starting with some good stuff. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey opened in theaters this weekend, and trans actor Elliot Page is getting some of the best reviews of his career. Page plays Sinon, a Greek soldier, in the epic adaptation of Homer's poem. Right-wing pundits have been raging about his casting for months, racking up hundreds of thousands of dislikes on the final trailer and promising the film would fail. Nolan dismissed all of this before the film opened, calling all the pre-release backlash irrelevant. Turns out he was right. Critics are calling Page's performance sublime and pivotal, noting he's expertly used for one of the film's most emotional sequences. The stacked cast includes Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, and Charlize Theron. And when the reviews flooding in this weekend, Elliot Page is holding his own in every single frame. A trans actor in a Christopher Nolan blockbuster delivering one of the film's standout performances. Sometimes the timeline gives us exactly what we need. Congratulations, Elliot Page. I'm so proud of you. Next, New Hampshire GOP governor vetoes bathroom bill again for the 5th time. So this story is about stubbornness, and for one Republican governor who keeps saying no. New Hampshire governor, a Republican, voted a bathroom bill for what is now the 4th or 5th time, depending on how you're counting. This week's veto covers House Bill 1442, which would have allowed businesses to ban trans people from restrooms, barred trans girls from school sports, and allowed prisons to house trans women with cis men. The governor said that the bill was nearly identical to all the other ones she has vetoed before. Trying the same thing again isn't going to get a different result, she said. She has repeatedly asked the legislature to send her something narrower and more targeted, and they keep sending the same bill. The Republican-controlled legislature almost certainly does not have the votes to override her, and one of the bill's sponsors has already promised to file the same legislation again in 2027. This has been going on since 2024, and every time the governor says no. It's not a perfect win, but it's also signed some restrictive bills this session. She's also signed some restrictive bills this session, but on this particular fight, she held her line. Credit where it's due. Next, gunman opens fire outside a North Carolina gay bar. Now, this story hits closer to home for some people. In the early hours of Wednesday morning, an armed man opened fire in a parking lot of Shakey's, a gay dive bar in downtown Asheville, North Carolina. Great little town. Staff had called 911 after the man, who had been removed from the bar earlier that night for concerning behavior, was spotted in the parking lot with a gun. Dispatchers instructed staff to lock the doors, keep everyone inside, give patrons away from the windows, and low to the ground. When Asheville police arrived, they found the man firing in the parking lot. Officers returned fire, and the man was killed. Every single person in Shakey's made it home safely. Shakey's posted a statement thanking their staff, the police dispatchers, and every patron who followed instructions and looked out for each other in this terrifying moment. We are relieved that no one inside was hurt, but we also know this can't become background noise. A man brought a gun to a gay bar and opened fire. That happened in 2026. We say their name and the staff of the community of Shakey's who handled an impossible night with extraordinary courage. So good that nobody got hurt but the shooter. Next, lesbian congresswoman calls out the Orange convicted felons admin's weird, intense homoerotic feelings. Okay, so this one brought me genuine joy. One lesbian congresswoman, Becca Balint of Vermont, went on record this week with a take that has that is both hilarious and completely accurate. Reacting to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's new military testosterone program, yes, that is a real thing that exists. Balint says she believes that there are a lot of people in the Orange Convicted Felons Administration who have, quote, some weird, intense homoerotic feelings towards men while also being incredibly homophobic. She clarified she wasn't criticizing herself. Her words, I don't think the homoeroticism is the weird part. The weird part is that they pretend that that's not what it's about. She also compared Hegseth to a Tom of Finland character, and honestly, same. This is the energy we need in Congress. Name it, call it, say it plainly. Becca said what everybody else was actually thinking, and she is absolutely right. And I don't, just Google Pete Hegseth's yearbook photo. Just Google it. Like, he is not at all who he is pretending to be today. So just do it and let me know what you think. Next, one trans person killed and another injured in a Pakistan shooting. So we need to pause here for something that deserves our full attention. A trans person was shot and killed and another was injured in a shooting in Pakistan. Violence against transgender people in Pakistan has been escalating for years. Trans women there face systematic discrimination, are frequently targets of violence, and have almost no legal recourse. This is not an isolated incident. It is part of a documented pattern. Trans people in Pakistan are among the most vulnerable in the world, facing rejection from families, exclusion from the formal economy, and regular physical attacks. We don't know the names of the victims. We may never, but we say they mattered. Their lives matter, and the world needs to keep paying attention to what's happened in trans community in Pakistan. Our next story is teacher wins $265,000 after school district fired him for being gay. So we're ending this newscast in a win. An educator has been awarded $265,000 after alleging that his school district fired him because of he is gay. The details of this case are infuriating. The man says he was wrongfully terminated and that his sexual orientation was used against him. And the district violated his rights. A jury agreed. And now the district is writing a check of $250,000. Anti-discrimination protections exist for a reason, and when employers try to ignore them, when they think they can push out gay teachers and face no consequence, sometimes a jury reminds them otherwise. This win belongs to him, and this win belongs to every teacher who has ever been treated as less because of who they are. So that's the new cast for today on Monday, July 20th. 6 stories, Elliot Page winning, a Republican governor blocking a bathroom ban again, a terrifying night at a gay bar in Asheville that ended with everyone safe, a congresswoman saying what needed to be said about Pete Hegseth, a trans life lost in Pakistan that deserves to be named, and a gay teacher who fought back and won. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast, leave a rating and a review. It generally helps people find us. Share this episode with someone who needs to stay informed, and find me on Instagram at TheRealZachRe. I'll be back tomorrow with more news. Thanks for listening.